So I wanted to get on here really quick and talk about my experience at a recent Witality event. I know he is coming back to Florida at the end of the year, so I wanted to get on here and talk about it because the Facebook ads and Instagram ads and everything are coming back. And I know people are going to be thinking about like, hey, should I attend a Witality event or should I not? Is it something that I would enjoy or is it something that I would not enjoy? So my experience is I highly recommend that you do it. If you are on the fence about it, if you're thinking like, hey, these people screaming and crying and laughing and releasing trauma, that sounds like something I might need to do, then you are getting a call from your higher self to do this. And I recommend that you do it. So my Witality event, I've actually been to Witality 3 different times. I went one time, I think they were here in June of 23 in Orlando. And then I wanted to do it again so bad that when I found out they were coming back, I think it was last month, when I found out they were coming back to Orlando and then also coming back to Tampa, I booked a ticket for both locations. So basically what happens is you go in and you're taken through essentially a guided meditation. So everyone, once they book a ticket, the early bird tickets I think are $120 and the like last minute tickets I think are $150 or something like that, something close to that. So what you do is you bring a yoga mat with you and you bring a pillow with you and, you know, other things optional for comfort like eye mask, so you can really get into the meditation. I recommend to bring 2 pillows. You're going to want to have 1 pillow under your butt and 1 pillow under your head, and then an eye mask and a blanket. It's recommended that you bring a blanket too. So basically, long story short, what happens is you go in and Witality explains to you a little bit of information about himself, his background, and what you are going to be doing during the breathwork session. And then eventually you begin. You basically are taking very deep breaths at times, shallow breaths at times in a rhythmic pattern that Witality walks you through how to do it. It does not matter if you have any experience with breath work prior. I did not. They will teach you how to do it and train you how to do it. So you're laying there on the floor with, 200 other people approximately, depending on the location. And I remember Witality was saying that one thing that happens to people is called lobster hands, where like your fingers will go like this. And that is the energy that is still there, that's trapped, that is building up. You're building up energy in your body in order for you to release it and have an emotional release. So anyway, he was talking about this and I remember thinking to myself, like, there is no way that's not going to happen to me, right? But we get into the session and sure enough, about 10 minutes in, I'm having this lobster hands feeling. And he tells you just breathe through it, just work through it, ask it where it's taking you in your body, where you're feeling that energy in your body, where you need to release it, and just work through it and breathe through it. Don't try to straighten them out. Don't try to sit on top of them, whatever. So I did. I continued on, I continued with the breath work. I just tried to stay there in the moment, trust the process, trust my higher self, and trust that I was gonna find where I needed to go throughout this session, and I did. And, I think for me, by far the most powerful one would have been the first time that I did my Witality event. Not to get too personal with it, but what happened for me is you basically have an experience where your whole life flashes before your eyes in a sense, but in a slow motion, way. So you're able to go back to things that you didn't even remember that you experienced from when you were, like for me, I went back to 3 and 4 years old. And I went back to that and was able to release what I needed to release at that time. And by the way, that thing that I needed to release from 3 and 4 years old was still affecting me in my dating life to this day at 34 years old. And after the Witality event, I was able to let go of this toxic relationship because I was able to see that this toxic relationship was emulating this wound that I still had from 3 and 4 years old. So throughout the session, I cried, I laughed, and then at times they encourage you to scream. Like the whole group will, okay, everybody release all of, your feelings about this on 3, 1, 2, 3, and the whole room screams. So that was like, cued. The rest of it, however, is just comes naturally and is very organic, and whatever happens to come up for you is what you release. So some people might cry, some people might scream organically, some people might laugh, some people might, punch the air. Who knows how you release your trauma, right? Everybody is a little bit different, and everybody's experiences have been a little bit different. For me, I would say I felt a dramatic positive shift in my baseline emotional state from the Witality event. So I highly recommend, if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about going to a Witality event, go. And everybody's experience is different, and you just have to trust and believe that you are going to get out of it exactly what you need to get out of it. And so, like I said, I went to it a second time, and believe it or not, I went up after my second Witality event in Tampa, Florida. And Witality stands there, and he will talk to people at the end of the session. So he was standing up there in the front, and I went up to him and I talked to him and I thanked him and I told him that he changed my life. I do think that this experience changed my life. And he was wonderful and fascinating and so friendly. And we talked about some things, and he said, in a very unbothered way, that some people will not reach this level of consciousness in this lifetime. Just with a shrug, for them, not in this lifetime. And that was so powerful for me, because I have thought in relationships in the past that, I'll see you next lifetime. And you're so sad about it. And it's this, pathetic thing. Not that it's pathetic, but you get so in your emotions. Oh my gosh, I'll see you next lifetime. You have that connection with somebody where this is like a multi-lifetime thing. And the way Witality said it, not in this lifetime. Some people don't reach that level of consciousness in this lifetime, and that's okay. And that was so powerful for me. I think he's married and has kids and the whole deal, but, you could stand there, I could stand there and talk to this guy for hours. I mean, fascinating human being. Not only that, Witality is nearly 7 feet tall. He used to play professional basketball, and he had some injuries, and he was dealing with some problems that led him to be paralyzed from the waist down, which is how he discovered breath work. And now he's bringing breath work to pretty much the entire United States of America. So they have tour dates in pretty much all 50 states as far as I know. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please list them down below in the comments. I can do a more in-depth Q&A on how it went, or if you need more details or whatever, just let me know down below in the comments. As always, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a blessed day.